All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well on this Saturday, the first day of Seattle Seahawks training camp. And things are happening. The guys are on the field as we speak. Things are being done on a football field. We're getting a lot of good information from the various beat reporters who are there. And I will be talking about what they pass along at length either later tonight or early tomorrow. But before we get to all that, because that's going to be a lot of different things to get into, and I want to go ahead and find a coherent way to kind of split videos up, I want to take this video here to talk about the unambiguous good news that we've already gotten. Because while we're still waiting to hear the full scope of what went down at the VMAC today, there is one thing we can take away from what we've heard so far that is clearly good. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. I want to talk a little bit about injury stuff, and in this case, it's all good news. So I made a video yesterday talking about how, as of yesterday, late afternoon / early evening, there had been no word on additional players being added to the PUP, which is obviously great because that indicated that it was likely that a lot of the players who were a little bit unavailable during the off season had cleared up their health situations. And I wanted to see if that carried on into today, because it was not out of the question that some of those players would get added late, like early this morning, because they hadn't had the opportunity to check them until today. Well, we are currently here in the mid-afternoon after the training camp has already gotten well underway. And not only have we not heard any PUP updates, we've actually heard updates of these guys on the football field. We got a Curtis Allen here with a few tweets. He's partaking in the passing along of information, which is always great. So shout out to him for doing good work over there. AJ Barner and Tory Horton on the field warming up, according to him. I saw similar sentiments from other people who were there at the VMAC today. So no PUP for Barner, no PUP for Horton. If anything happens now, it'll be presumably because something happened at camp. And look, that's always a possibility. That's something that you deal with on some level every single time you take a football field, be it for a game or for a practice. But as of right now, those guys have cleared up their off-season injuries. And remember, Barner didn't do any work before training camp, really. He did very, very light work in OTAs. And Horton, that's actually a really big one because Horton's been gone for a long time. And there was some concern that he might not make it back for this, but he has. Curtis Allen went on to specify when talking about Tory Horton that there's no brace, there's no gear on Horton that indicates he's struggling. There's no indication that this is a slow process. Coming out of his route breaks a little stiff, but otherwise fine, is what he says. So a little bit of stiffness is probably to be expected, and we've still got, I think, 46 days until we play the Patriots, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Horton should be good to go when the games start. Sounds like he might even be ready to go now. So that is great news because I think we were a little bit scared of the Horton situation because we were told that the injury initially was minor, and then it just kept getting a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse, and then he missed the whole rest of the season, and then he missed the early off-season work, and it was like, okay, is this just going to go on forever? No, it looks like we are good. Horton, ready to go year 2. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer, best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today, and remember to always gamble responsibly. Granted, it still remains to be seen how much Tory Horton is going to do for this team in 2026. Some people think he's going to play a significant role, but I do wonder if, because this team is going to be light on wide receivers, because that's not the kind of offense they run, combined with the fact that Shaheed is now a $50 million player, if Horton sees the field as much as some people are thinking, he may end up being a pretty firm number 4 receiver, or maybe he pushes Cooper Kupp, but how much is Cooper Kupp going to even have to spare? I'm not convinced. So I won't be shocked if Horton ends up being a pretty minor character on this team, but I know he's better than what Jake Bobo can offer, and he's better than what Cody White can offer, so I want him out there. All right, so that wasn't the only good news we got. There was also the Josh Jones situation. Curtis Allen made sure to point out that Josh Jones is out there practicing. Remember, he's another guy who hadn't done anything in the offseason yet, and he even kind of sort of got called out for it. Not 100% sure, I will grant you, but the indication from McDonald is that he was it kind of sounded like Jones wasn't in shape and McDonald wasn't happy about it. And I know that Jones pushed back a little bit on that narrative, so we never really got to the bottom of that. But there was some reason to believe that Jones was on a little bit of thin ice. Although, granted, most of his contract is guaranteed, so there's not a lot that could have been done there. But it did seem like there was a little bit of a dissatisfaction with Josh Jones. So the fact that he's out there indicates that whatever it was, it's in the past now. And we've still got a ton of time before games start. And he's a backup anyway, right? He's not going to start week 1. He'll do a little bit on special teams, and other than that, just sit and wait to see if anybody at the tackle spots gets hurt, which we obviously hope does not happen. But we know Jones can play, pretty good player, can get it done. So the question was, would he be healthy and would he be in shape? And it seems like on both counts, the answer is yes. So great news there. And Nemhauser pointed out that Eric Saubert was also seen out there. So Eric Saubert ready to go, and he was another guy who missed a lot of work in the offseason, although he did do some stuff near the end, so it was expected, I think, that he would be ready to go for the camp, but that's basically everybody that I thought about keeping an eye on, except for Arroyo, and I haven't heard anything about Arroyo, so that indicates that he's fine as well. So I think we are in the clear there, and what that means is no Seahawks have landed on the non-football injury list, and no additional Seahawks have been put on the PUP, as this field goals tweet points out. First time under Mike McDonald. Now, we've got 5 players who we have put on the PUP previously. One of them is Tyrone Broden, who is not on the team anymore anyway. Devin Eastern, who was almost certainly not going to make the team. Kenny McIntosh, who was also unlikely to make the team. Zach Charbonnet, who we all knew was going to start on the PUP and take a while to get back, ever since he got hurt, really. And then finally, you've got Eamon Worry, which is the one curveball, but we've been assured that he will be ready to go for the games. So, all in all, this is about as healthy a start to the season as you're going to have. So, hopefully that doesn't change. Hopefully things stay in this area. And hopefully, when this season gets underway, whatever happens, good season, bad season, mediocre season, we'll at least be able to say that it wasn't a derailed season because we didn't have our guys. So, really good start, really encouraging here. I'll try to make another video later talking about whatever it is else that we learn from camp. There's going to be a lot, but this is the important thing, really. So, go Hawks.